Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going to talk about function parameter in JavaScript. So function parameters are listed in the function definition, and function arguments are the real values passed to the function. Like an example, we have one function add. So this function takes two parameters p1 and p2. Now inside the function we can return the addition of the two parameters. So in the function definition we have the parameters. Now whenever we call the function, then we pass the real values, and these are called the arguments. So in the function call we pass the arguments, and in the function definition we have the parameters. So the parameters will receive those arguments, then it will return the addition of those two numbers. So if we console log, so you can see we have the output as 30. Now in JavaScript we do not have to specify the type of the parameter, and also we can send any type of arguments to the parameter, and also the number of arguments that we pass is also not restricted. That means we can pass more number of parameters, or even we can pass less number of parameter. But the problem is whenever we pass less number of parameter, then it can cause real problems. Our code can break, and it can also produce wrong output. Like here in example we are getting not a number as output because we are passing one argument, but the function is expecting two parameters. That's why the second parameter will have the value as undefined. Because of this we are getting not a number as output. To fix that we can use the default parameters. So default parameter is a concept where we can assign default values to our parameter. So here we are assigning one default value to the parameter 2. Now you can see we are getting one correct output, and if we pass second argument, then the second argument will be the value of parameter 2, and accordingly we'll get the output. So the default parameter is very helpful whenever we accidentally forget to pass arguments, or we pass less number of arguments, then the default parameter will come into action. And also there can be situations we can pass more number of parameter. So you can see we are not getting any error, but the output is wrong. Here we are passing 4 arguments, but the addition function will take only 2 parameters. So that's why we are not getting the expected result. So to fix that we can use the rest parameter. So the rest parameter will receive an indefinite number of arguments as an array. So to use the rest operator we have to use 3 dots and then the name of the parameters. So this is our rest parameter. So if we console log, so you can see we are getting one array, and the array contains all the arguments that we have passed. So the rest parameter creates one array out of all those arguments that are passed. Now we can iterate over the args, and we can find the sum of all the arguments that have been passed. So for this we're gonna use the for of loop, and then we're gonna return the sum of all those values. So you can see we're getting the correct output. Now no matter how many arguments we pass, the output will be correct, and that is because of the rest parameter. So the rest parameter will handle indefinite number of arguments that we pass to this function. Similarly also we can use the arguments object. So in JavaScript every function has the built-in arguments object. So if we console log arguments, so you can see arguments is one object which contain all of the arguments that we pass to that function. So if we pass more number of arguments, our arguments object will contain all of those arguments. Now we can print the length of the arguments, and this will return the number of arguments that we have passed to the function. We can use the arguments object, and we can find the sum of all of those arguments. So for this we have to use the arguments object, and we can iterate over that object, and then we can find the sum of all of those arguments. Now no matter how many arguments we pass, our output will be correct. Now in JavaScript the arguments are passed by value. That means the arguments we pass to the function, only the copy of those arguments is passed to the function. That means any changes we made inside the function will not affect the value of all of those arguments. So hope you understand about parameters in JavaScript. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.